night ends. There's no winner when you're walking alone. Sliding down the last street as the day creeps. What you doing with nobody at home? Sugar, just step into your sneakers and step behind the speakers. Your heart will keep me beating and make me a believer. Don't you want me? Don't you want me? I need some mercy on my soul, come on. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight. Just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Extra touch and pull up, hand in hand for one last.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The biggest challenge for these teams here may be dealing with the weather. Rain is falling, the field is slick, and it's not going to get any better as the game goes on. It'll be messy out there. It's the Seahawks going up against the Eagles. So let's send you up to Pennsylvania. Standing by in Philadelphia are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Today and the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on third.
Thinking pass all the way.
Surveying the field. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Connor Barwin in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Eagles are... Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Being chased out left. Give him 18 on that one. And the Seahawks are going to have a first down. I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. he's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins.
Brandon, this is what...
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep down. He's got a man complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of games, but sometimes you get it rocked a little bit, and this certainly applies here for them.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And
we know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
on 3rd down, Wilson finding time. It's caught inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a 1st down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Drops it underneath for Rawls. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and it's third down. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
And he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take... The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch back.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they will take over. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Did not get outside the tackles, and that's going to...
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And that is incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And they... Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and it's fourth down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down, eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. It's a gain of 7, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Wilson on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. On second down, here's Wilson. Escaping. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, Charles, the forecast.